position that we take in trouble indicates compliance or defiance. Readiness allows us to see trouble while God sees it. Is our heart prepared to have trouble, or are we prepared to be troubled?
Visit our website, helpinggetvictory.org.
A voice of rescue, training overcoming.
With a word to rescue entitled Trained, Not Troubled.
This is message number 16 in the 500 series, His Comfort, Our Call. The We translation of 1 Peter chapter 4 verses 1 through 2 reads, Christ suffered in his body. You also must be ready to have the same trouble happen to you. When a man has suffered in his body, he has stopped doing wrong things. For the rest of his life on earth, he will not do what people want to do. He will do what God wants him to do. This brings us to prepare right, the eighth power on following in the way of the footsteps that Jesus modeled for us in trouble. This is important because God wants us standing ready to meet trouble, being armed to follow Christ's example in our thinking and our approach, and how we partake in trouble indicates that we have put in place the necessary preparations. If we are ready to have the same trouble happen to us as Jesus, it becomes an expectation and not a shocking revelation. In this way, we aren't caught off guard, unaware, napping, and rendered speechless. This signifies that we have become clear on God's character to comfort us and Satan's character to trouble us. Our ability to discern the role of trouble from comfort creates in us a prepared heart. So we are then strengthened to become hardened instead of disheartened. This readiness allows us to see trouble while God sees it, that we need to overcome. Therefore, it's an occasion to show if we stand for good or evil. Are we leveled? Is our heart prepared to have trouble, or are we prepared to be troubled? When we become trained, we are prepared to give a positive response to the comfort that God conveys, simply because we recognize that whatever God offers is the best offer. And so being prepared right in trouble demonstrates that we have broken up with sin for real. What we say yes to then brings light if we remain captivated by sin, or if we are truly liberated to live. If we are free from doing wrong things and free to do good things. This is how the position that we take in trouble indicates compliance or defiance, because it calls us to number 1, pair right, pointing us to number 2, perform right, patterning us to number 3, persist right, provoking us to number 4, pursue right, piloting us to number 5, possess right, permitting us to number 6, perceive right, and prompting us to number 7, partake right. You see, knowing what part to play in trouble contributes to our preparation, because when we know where we stand with God, we know where to stand in trouble. For it is our stand in God through Jesus Christ that breaks the power of sin. In this manner, we aren't pretending to be a Christian and lack God's power to do the good that God wants in trouble, and not the evil that Satan, the evil one, wants us to do, which is to pursue our human desires over God's desire. Therefore, our heart is prepared for trouble, because the time that we spend with God breeds the fruit of God's character in our heart to declare that we are rightly connected to God.
Thank you for listening to this message. We pray that it was a blessing. Now, if you're not a subscriber, think about hitting that like button. Then smash that subscribe button to be the first to hear our messages when they appear. Also visit our website, helpinggetvictory.org, to learn more about how victory starts with Jesus living in your heart.